Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Before continuing, please review the legal disclaimer provided in the comments section of this video and make sure to see the video till the end to get a full understanding of how it all works. On this channel, we share practical guidance on visa processes, immigration pathways, investment and citizenship options, and related topics to help you make informed decisions. If you are unsure about your visa options or planning your next step, consider subscribing and enabling notifications so you stay updated with the latest developments. Today's video is extremely important for anyone planning to travel internationally through Singapore, because every single year, thousands of travelers face denied boarding, immigration confusion, missed connections, baggage complications, and unexpected transit issues simply because they misunderstood how Singapore transit rules actually work. And here is the surprising part. Most people assume that if they are only stopping in Singapore for a few hours between flights, they automatically do not need any visa or approval at all. But that assumption can be very dangerous, because in Singapore transit travel, everything depends on one thing: whether you stay inside the airport or whether you step outside immigration. And that single detail changes everything about your journey. So in today's complete guide, we are going to break down everything you need to know about the Singapore transit visa process from the perspective of any traveler anywhere in the world. We will cover who needs permission, who does not, how transit really works, how baggage rules affect everything, when you can leave the airport, when you cannot, and how travelers accidentally get into trouble even with short layovers. So stay with me until the end, because the most important clarity comes later in the video. Now, let's begin. Singapore is one of the most important aviation hubs in the world. Millions of passengers pass through Singapore every year, connecting between continents. And because of that, the airport system is designed for extremely efficient transit movement. But there are two completely different transit situations, and this is where most confusion begins. The first is airside transit. The second is landside transit. Airside transit means you remain inside the secure transit zone of the airport. You do not go through immigration. You do not officially enter Singapore. You simply move from one flight to another inside the airport system. In this situation, many travelers do not need a visa because they never formally enter the country. This is the smoothest and most common type of transit. But now comes the important contrast. Landside transit means you go through immigration and officially enter Singapore during your layover. And this can happen in many real situations. For example, if you need to collect baggage, if your flights are booked separately, if you are changing airlines that do not transfer luggage automatically, if you have an overnight stop, or if you want to leave the airport to explore the city. The moment you pass immigration, you are officially entering Singapore. And that is where entry rules become important. Now here is where things get interesting. Singapore has a system that allows some travelers to enter during transit without a traditional visa, but only under specific conditions. And many travelers misunderstand this completely. Some assume they are automatically eligible. Others assume they are never eligible. Both assumptions can cause problems. Eligibility depends on your nationality, your travel documents, your onward destination, and how your itinerary is structured. Now let's talk about one of the biggest hidden risks in transit travel: separate tickets. This is where many travelers face unexpected complications. Imagine you book one flight into Singapore and another separate flight leaving Singapore. If those flights are not connected under one booking, you may be required to collect baggage and check in again. And that often means you must pass immigration. And once you pass immigration, your visa requirements change completely. This is one of the most common reasons travelers get confused or even denied boarding. Now let's talk about overnight transit. Many people believe that if they stay in the airport overnight, everything is automatically safe and simple. But that is not always true. Depending on your airline arrangement, baggage transfer, and terminal procedures, you may still be required to enter Singapore officially. That is why overnight layovers need careful planning. Now let's talk about Singapore Airport itself. Changi Airport is one of the most advanced airports in the world. It is not just an airport. It is an entire experience. Transit passengers can access rest areas, lounges, hotels, entertainment zones, gardens, cinemas, food courts, shopping areas, and relaxation spaces. So even if you stay inside the airport, the experience is extremely comfortable. But here is where it gets even more exciting. If you are eligible to enter Singapore during transit, a long layover can turn into a mini travel experience because Singapore is one of the cleanest, safest, and most modern cities in the world. You can explore Marina Bay, gardens by the bay, the skyline views, food streets, cultural areas, and iconic city landmarks. And many travelers say their transit stop in Singapore became one of the highlights of their entire journey, but only if everything is properly arranged. Now let's go step by step through how transit planning actually works. First, you must understand your transit structure. Ask yourself simple questions. Will I stay inside the airport or leave it? Will I collect baggage or not? Are my flights under one booking or separate bookings? Do I have an overnight layover? Will I need to recheck in luggage? These answers decide everything. Second, you must check whether your nationality allows entry or requires visa approval. Some travelers can enter without a visa under specific conditions. Some require a visa in advance. Some may qualify for special transit entry arrangements, and others must remain airside only. There is no universal rule that applies to everyone. Third, you must prepare your documents carefully. This usually includes a valid passport, onward flight confirmation, destination entry documents if required, hotel booking if staying overnight, and proof of onward travel. Fourth, your passport validity must be sufficient. If your passport is close to expiry, airlines may refuse boarding before you even start your journey. Fifth, you must complete all travel formalities correctly if you are entering the country. And sixth, if a visa is required, you must apply early and accurately. Because small mistakes like spelling errors, incorrect dates, or mismatched flight details can create delays or rejection risks. Now, here is something extremely important. Airlines also play a big role in transit approval. Before you even reach Singapore, airline staff may check your documents. If they believe your documents are not valid for your transit route, they can stop you from boarding. This happens more often than most travelers realize. Now let's talk about one of the smartest travel strategies: long layovers. Many travelers intentionally choose longer layovers in Singapore to explore the city. And when planned correctly, this can turn a simple connection into a memorable travel experience. But timing is everything. You must always account for immigration, baggage handling, traffic, airport security, and boarding time. Rushing a transit in Singapore is never a good idea. Now let's talk about common mistakes travelers make. One of the biggest mistakes is assuming that short layovers automatically mean no visa requirements. Another mistake is booking separate tickets without understanding baggage rules. Another mistake is ignoring immigration rules for overnight stops. Another mistake is relying on outdated or incorrect information, and another major mistake is applying too late. Now let's talk about printed documents. Even in a modern airport system, having physical copies of your passport details, tickets, bookings, and travel confirmations can save you during unexpected situations because phones fail, internet fails, and battery runs out. Now let's talk about travel insurance. While not always mandatory, it is highly recommended because international transit disruptions can happen anywhere. Missed flights, delays, baggage loss, or emergencies can become expensive very quickly. Now here is the final truth every traveler must understand. Transit rules are not fixed forever. They can change based on nationality, airline policy, security updates, and immigration regulations. That is why checking everything before travel is essential. Now let's quickly summarize everything. First, understand your transit type. Second, know whether you are staying airside or entering the country. Third, check your eligibility based on nationality and travel structure. Fourth, prepare your documents properly. Fifth, apply if required and do it early. Sixth, understand baggage and connection rules. And finally, always plan conservatively instead of assuming everything will be simple, because transit mistakes can be expensive and stressful. But when done correctly, Singapore transit travel is one of the smoothest and most enjoyable airport experiences in the world. And if you plan it properly, even a layover can feel like part of your holiday. Because one honest and well-prepared application is far more powerful than a thick folder full of random paperwork. And you have come to the right place to get all your visa applications sorted in a hassle-free and professional manner. We can help you to get the entire process done correctly and make your dream trip to any destination in the world easier than you think. Make sure to get in touch with is on our WhatsApp mobile numbers, no matter which part of the world you are in, and do subscribe. Like and share our channel to get many more interesting updates. Thank you for watching and have a safe journey. Get in touch with us now on +64 221 786 07 or +91 737 86 00791.